Starting. Is it on? Oh shit. Okay. Great, so my check 1, 2. Thank you. So one more day, one more topic for you guys to say to learn, discuss about with me. Although this topic is really, let's say, out of my league. To be honest, because I don't really play any. I don't play football. I don't play soccer. So the topic about World Cup, as you can see on the screen, that is what we're going to talk about today, is actually something beyond my ability. So let's just say I'm not granted anything in this live stream, and it is just personal view. So yeah, just keep stay tuned because I'm gonna give you a of brief history, and then let's say what does it need to join the World Cup as well as the prize, the tickets, and other things relating to World Cups. Okay, because I'm not really specialized, I'm not really having a lot of knowledge in this field. So I'm just trying to give you, let's say, the most general ideas or the most general information that I could possibly find on the internet. Because with this one, I'm sorry to say this, but with this particular topic, I cannot give you any recommendation or any advice or anything like personal experience on this one. As I said, I don't play football. Yeah, really apologize for that. Okay, so yeah, but let's say I tried my best to find the information for you in order to forming this live stream. So I hope that you will get the correct information as well as the some information that is useful for you during this World Cup season. Because who knows? You never know until the referee blows the whistle, right? Okay. So yes, the this is the events you might have already known about. So World Cup, yeah. When mentioning World Cup, it is a very general term, but I'm talking about the particular World Cup Qatar. Qatar. Okay, I need to check. Give me 2 months. I need to check this word. What is it? How does it pronounce like? If I'm not wrong, it's Qatar, but I don't want to make the mistake. So yeah, Qatar. Yes, I'm not wrong. All right, so yeah, the World Cup Qatar 2022 is the international association football tournament contested by the men national teams of FIFA's member associations and the 22nd FIFA World Cup. Okay, with the detail, let's say for the detailed information about the FIFA World Cup 2022, I'm going to mention about it later in this live stream, so just stay tuned for that. But before we explore the FIFA 2022 or this year FIFA, right? We're gonna look back a little bit into the history so that you will have the brief idea how and when and why FIFA was formed or World Cup was formed. Um, okay, as well as the victory of the championship throughout the years. Okay, so here are the history. Let's say I'm just trying to give it very brief for you. So you might have not known, but FIFA World Cup has been around for a very, very long time. As you can see on the screen, you see like FIFA World Cup before the World War II, which is before 1945. Yeah, and it was a very, very long time ago. Because you might think that so from that time until now, it's been like more than 70 years. Yeah, more than 70 years. And why there is only the 22nd World Cup in the world right now? So to answering for this, because in the past there was many different events that occurred the organization of the World Cup. As you can see, like World Cup has before the World War II. So let's say the first World Cup league or season occurred in, if I'm not wrong, 1930, and that was way before the World War II. And the host was the Uruguay. Uruguay. Oh, I'm not wrong. Uruguay. Okay. Mm, yeah, and the host is also the champion of that event in 90 of the World Cup in 1930, and not until let's say not until 1942 until 1946, there is a big let's say abandoned? No, not abandoned. It's just a delay in the organization of World Cup. So from 1930 to 1938, we have three World Cup seasons. And from 1942 to 1946, there is no World Cup match. And after World Cup, after World War II, we have seen um, massive amounts of news or video or anything related to football for the football fan talking about World Cup every season. It comes say 4 years. So every 4 years. But yeah, I think so. Okay, and yeah, if we're talking about World Cup, the history of World Cup, we have to mention the team expansion. So let's say the tournament was expanded to 24 teams in 1982, and later on to 32 teams in 1998. And lastly would be the expansion from 32 teams to, let's say, the hefty number of, hmm, yeah, the number of 48 teams in 2016. So team expansion that has many different problems or many reasons behind it. But let me see. Yeah, I think like in 1950, the number of contestant teams in the World Cup was just 13 teams. So you can imagine like World Cup after World War II, even in 1950s, it was organized or held in a very small scale, and later on throughout the time, there was two main changes in let's say 1998. So they changed it into 32 teams, and 2016, which is the oh yeah, yeah, support for. Well, it's not 48 now. Yeah, it's 48. It's 48 teams from 2016. Okay. And when it comes to football, you see like there are many dramas and there are many rumors around the fraud or money laundering and anything like that. So when it comes to football, it's pretty complicated. That is just the case we are mentioning right here. We're going to talk about the corruption of the World Cup, specifically the World Cup 2009, 2015. So by May 2015, the games were under a particularly dark cloud because of the 2015 FIFA corruption case, allegations and criminal charges of bribery, fraud, and money laundering to corrupt the issue of media and marketing rights for FIFA games. Mhm. And on December 3rd, 2015, two FIFA vice president was arrested on suspicion of bribery in the same Zurich hotel where seven FIFA officials has been arrested in May. So in addition to 16 indictments by the US Department of Justice was announced on the same day. So there was a pretty big corruption that happened in the big league like World Cup. And of course, let's say the one who caused the corruption or the one who has the relation or had any linkage to the corruption will end up in jail. So yeah, uh, let's say anything can happen, right? Okay. And the history of World Cup also including the biennial World Cup proposition. So biennial World Cup plan was first proposed at the 71st Congress of FIFA on May 2021. And yeah, according to the FIFA commission form and FIFA Council discussion on October 20th, 2021, the majority of football fans still support the 4 years cycle, 4 year World Cup cycle. So in this case, they want to change it to 2 years. But a lot of people are still supporting the 4 year cycle, and continental confederations such as UEFA or CONMEBOL are not on board with the plan. Okay, I'm not really understand, but yeah, that is what I found on Wikipedia. Okay, so yeah, that is just a brief history of the World Cup, and I hope you can actually learn something about it. Okay, but let's not wasting a lot of time for this one. So we're gonna skip on to the next. Um, we have so we're just gonna moving on to the next slide. So right here, we're gonna talk about the last championship of the World Cup 2018. Yes, World Cup 2018 held the victory by France, and France were crowned championship for the second time in history, and for the first since they were host in 1998 after defeating Croatia with the score of 4-2 in what will go down as one of the most thrilling World Cup finals ever. So as you can see, that was a very big event, and yeah, many people say had some problem with financially with this World Cup season. So yeah, I'm just just a quick illustration of the last championship. But if you have any ideas who's gonna win this year World Cup or this World Cup season, just comment in the comment section down below and let us know your idea. and probably they just can support your ideas by explaining why do you think that team will make it to the finals and make it to the championship of this 2022 World Cup. Mm, so there are many of different prediction you can see on the script on the internet these days. But prediction are just very objective. And it doesn't hold any, let's say, anything you should take for granted or have any guarantee. So just be wise upon listening to prediction as well as advice on what teams will win and which team wins and which team will lose. So really be careful on that. And as I mentioned, prediction are objective. So it's all depends on you and your decision. You know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, I don't recommend you to do that. Okay, so World Cup 2022 here. Let's say the World Cup 2022 has the attendance or the appearance of the 32 nations qualified to play at the 2022 World Cup, and 24 in which in those 32 nations there were 24 countries has competed as the previous tournament in 2018. And the decision to host the 2022 World Cup in Qatar was graded as having high operational risk, generated criticism from media commentators. It has been criticized by many as being part of the FIFA corruption scandals. To explain to this, there is a long story behind this. Let me share with you. Like, if I'm not wrong, there was a lot of criticism behind this. Yeah, so the first criticism is that Qatar has faced strong criticism due to the treatment of foreign workers involved in the preparation for the World Cup. Those things refer to forced labor and poor working condition, while many migrant workers report to have to pay large recruitment fee to obtain employment. Okay. Yes, according to a magazine, no, according to a newspaper called Amnesty International. However, living and working conditions of the foreign workers have not improved in the last year. Also, Qatar is one of the smallest nations by area ever to be awarded FIFA World Cup, and the next smallest by area is Switzerland. Okay. And due to Qatar laws of alcohol consumption, World Cup organizers have announced the creation of the designated sobering up zone as an alternative to wide-scale arrest for intoxicated fans during the World Cup. Qatar World Cup chief executive of the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy was cited by Sky News, ensuring safety for implementing the designated sobering up area. So it is a place to make sure that they keep themselves safe. They're not harmful to anybody else. So according to ESPN channel, channel about sport, if you watch it on YouTube or on TV now today, ESPN. So ESPN said that if a fan is sent to the sobering up zone, they will permit it to leave when they can display clear-headed behavior. So that is a really nice idea for people to having some sit back, relax moment, because they might be drinking too much alcohol during watching the matches. So sobering up area is a very good idea for big events, so that you can actually reduce the risk of, let's say, the risk of fatality during these big events and in the public, Okay. And yes, when talking about a tournament or a league, um, or especially about football, you can imagine the amount of for the prize would be like sky high, like so you can see the table I included in the mm, let me see. Yeah, I included the table. Yeah, okay. So this is the what gonna be used for the World Cup 2022 prizes. So in April 2022, FIFA announced the prizes for all the participating nations. So each qualified team will receive 1.5 millions before the competition to cover the preparation cost, with each team receiving at least 9 million in prize money. And this edition's total prize pool will be $440 million. So you can see on the table, so just for, let's say, yeah, just roughly speaking about the World Cup final champions for the champion, right? So you can see each team will receive 1.5 million to cover for the preparation cost. Okay, 1.5, and receiving at least 9 million in prize money. So if you are a champion, you will receive something like 43.5 millions. Alright. And if you are in a group stage, like from the 17th to 32nd place, you're gonna receive roughly $10.5 million. So yeah, that is a lot of amount of money, but everything paid off, right? Because they are very dedicated, and the teams or the nations who can make it to the World Cup shortlist would be very talented, and yeah, they have to work really hard for it. So as I said, everything paid off. Okay, but as you can see, we have a lot of prizes here, and yeah, the total amount um, prize money in total would be $440 million. So it will be 40 million greater than the prize pool of the latest tournament, which is the tournament in 2018. Okay. And yeah, talking about every sporting or every, I'm not talking about just sporting. Yeah, sporting is just too narrow. Let's broaden it up a little bit by talking about the big events or the special or important events. So let's say similarly to some some say top class singers or actor, if they're holding a performance or a tour, the ticket price will be hefty high. It also depends on their reputation as well as their fame. However, should be high because in those big events they have to cover for a lot of cost as well as the preparation and anything related, and they have to make some profit from it also, right? Okay, so it is also the same case, but in this case for the ticket to watch the matches in World Cup 2022, the case would be a little bit of exaggerated, you know. So as what I found online these days, so the ticket price in Qatar are the most expensive ever for the World Cup games in the last 20 years, with those for the finals like 59% higher than 4 years ago, according to the study in Munich-based Sport Africa. So let's say there are although the price is like very high. So you can imagine like why a fan in Russia had an average of 214 pounds for a seat ticket to matches in Qatar uh, cost an average like 286 pounds. So yeah, it is just like not really a big gap in price. However, if you calculate the number of, let's say, the number of tickets being sold, you can see how much uh, the difference is when it comes to the total money, right? Mm, so yeah, to explain for the reason why the ticket in Qatar was the most expensive ever in the last 20 years. So there are some study giving some evidence or some proof, proving that the price of the ticket for World Cup Qatar 2022 would be reasonable because the World Cup Qatar is already considered the most expensive World Cup ever. The construction of six new stadiums and the complete renovations of two other arenas in the country are said to have cost around $3 billion. And much more money was spent on expanding the infrastructure of capital Doha, such as transport routes and the reconstruction of international airports. Sorry. And beside that, let's say there are other things that goes around, but FIFA has earlier said that nearly 3 million tickets across 8 stadiums in Qatar has been sold ahead of the November 20 to December 2018. So as you can see, there are 3 million tickets are sold at this point. So you can see like, yeah, that would be a very big event and care about by many people. Okay, good. So yeah, what I want to say, what I want to ask you here is that would you pay 812 dollars for the World Cup final ticket? And if you say yes, please give me a reason. I want to be convinced by this because $812 is not really a small amount of money, I have to say, at least for me, right? And yeah, when you convey, convert, when you convert it into the Vietnam currency, it would be something roughly around 19 million, 19 millions Vietnam dollar. And yeah, you just spend like $812 for 90 minutes match. So do you think that the price of the ticket really worth the experience? Please let me know in the comment section below. And really sorry because for this part, I don't have any personal opinion or personal experience on this field because like, as I said, I don't really know or really research about English as well as World Cup. But if for me, let's say for me, and people like me who are not really into football or soccer, but just only watch it occasionally or watch it with friends and families, I would, let's say, not gonna pay $812 for for the final ticket because that is a very high price. It's the first thing, and the second thing is that if the team we are supporting win the game, it is, let's say, one of the best feeling ever, right? You feel like all your effort, let's say, all your effort to watch the match become worth it. However, on another hand, if the team you're supported didn't win the match, it would be a problem. because like you will feel very upset, you feel disappointed and sad. And when you go back home or when you on drive home, you just realize that you just spend that much money just to watch your favorite team lose, right? But yeah, that is just a very personal view. Because I'm not really into football, so I don't really know how you guys would feel. But yeah, that is just my personal view. So for me, if I had that much money, I wouldn't spend it for the tickets to World Cup final. Okay. So closing these questions, we have yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit about the technology that applied in the FIFA World Cup 2022. So first one, we got semi-automated offside technology. This is a very cool, very interesting technology that has been applied to the World Cup 2022. So here, so semi-automated outside technology is a support tool for the video match officials and on-field officials to help them make faster and more reproducible and more accurate offside decisions. So if you don't understand offside is that, let's say, offside is that if the team is attacking without the defender of the opponent team, that will be considered offside. But I don't have the picture right here, but I think you already know about this font or this mistake in Vietnamese. It will be called Vietnamese in Vietnamese. Yeah, so that would be offside in English. And beside that, we have a FIFA player app. A FIFA player app. So here, FIFA has developed the FIFA player app based on input from professional players. So in collaboration of Fifth Pro, yeah, I don't know if I read it right, Fifth Pro, like FIFPRO, the global representative of professional football. So with this app, you can actually learn about the player. So for those who really like to learn or know more about your favorite soccer player, you can use this app to learn about their performance as well as their strengths and their weaknesses. So for those enthusiasts, I think this is a very great tool. Okay. And yeah, next one we have this is another really new technology that used in is not really used in, let's say, in football, because it has been used in football for a while. And you see, video assistant referee or VAR technology is a system that is a support tool for the officials. The use of video match officials, VMOs, in football was included in the 2018. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, I think it's all good. All right. Yeah, sorry, we just got lost connections. Okay, and yeah, next one we have the goal of football database ecosystem. So data is very well established commodity in football landscape. Teams, media, broadcasters, and competition organizers need access to player, team, and competition data in form of events and positional data. And last technology we have would be the goal line technology. So to understand this one, goal line technology is a technical means of instantly determining whether the whole of the ball has crossed the goal line. The goal line technology continued to be a staple in the football world since its first implementation in 2014. This is a tool that is used to verify or to verify whether that goal is actually counted or not. So a lot of modern technology has been adopted and has been used in the World Cup 2022 in order to reduce or to minimize the risk of fraud or cheating and anything like that to have, let's say, the best experience for the player to play fair and for the best experience for the audience or for the viewers. Okay. So yeah, some funny story is that if the referee or if the officials make some wrong decisions in a match, and yeah, he will know the consequences. Let's say in 1 or 2 hours after the match, because there's a lot of people who are attacking him on social medias or on social networks. And I personally think this problem is not really a nice way or really a polite way to reduce your anger or to reduce your annoyance. Because like you just ruining a person tranquility or you just ruin a person's peace because your favorite team is lost or some decision was made, let's say not as what you expected. But however, the official, you have to remember that the officials or the referees in match in World Cup would be a well selected referee already. And he or she actually knows what he or she should do. So yeah, I don't think that the referee usually make wrong mistake, although I don't say that they don't, they rarely, because they are well trained for these special occasions or special events. What I want to say. Okay. Okay, so question posing here is that does our technology improve the game quality? Not really an interesting questions, but let's say there are a lot of article talking about the benefits as well as the disadvantage of the VAR technology upon having a fair game. So we have a lot of, well, let me find one and give it to you. So yeah, to explain clearly for the term VAR. So VAR is one step further than goal line technology. It stands for the Video Assistant Referee and is a system of video technology that allows difficult decisions to be looked at again on a screen, either by the match referees or a team experts in control room who are in contact with referee on the pitch. Unlike goal line technology, which look like one thing related to game VAR, look at 4 matches changing events. So these are those 4 matches changing events would include the goals and the build-up to the goals, penalty decisions, red cards, and mistaken identity. And the referee can either ask for help from VARs team or can notify the referee if the clear mistake has been made. The referee will then go to the touchline to look at the replay of the incident and make the decisions. So I think like the VAR technology has really changed the quality or the fairness of the football match. But let's say VAR technology is also considered a controversial phenomenon in football technology terms. So to explain for the controversial VARs, we're gonna say that people who want to see VARs used to say that it means more correct decision you make on a pitch. VAR could stop back offside decisions being made and increase diving and actions of simulation, as player will know that these incidents will be looked at again. However, people who would prefer not to have VAR in the game say that it will slow the game down because we have to wait for the decision to be made. Some pundits and commentators have also mentioned that some incidents are too subjective. They say that VAR may not be able to help with penalty decisions, as people often disagree about when a penalty should be given or not. See? Okay, so that is just a brief look into the VAR technology that we know or understand. Okay, so what is so special? Question posing here would be, what is so special about the opening match of the World Cup 2022? So looking back to the back few slides at the beginning of this live stream, you might see that I mentioned like the host of 2022 World Cup is Qatar, right? And Qatar just have a match like yesterday night, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, yesterday night. And yeah, the result turnout was not really good. And the Qatar, also the host, lost the match. And it is also the first time in the history of World Cup that the host losing the opening match of the World Cup season. So yeah, that is why this year is special. But yeah, that is all I really know about this event. So lastly, just to before we can close this live stream because I'm running out of idea, we're going to talk about World Cup and poverty. This picture was taken in Brazil in 2016, and yeah, this is called graffiti. Some of you might have already known about graffiti. So let's say World Cup and poverty has been a big issue or the raising issues that has in the World Cup 2016 in Brazil. And yeah, there was a lot of problem we have here. So as you can see, there has been also been reports of forced evictions of hundreds of family homes in order to make way for stadiums for the World Cup and the Olympics in 2016. The Huffington Post reported the story of a family who were given no notice or warnings of any kind before the several men turn up at their door and proceed to reduce their home to rubble and ash. Rubble and ash. You see, big problem, right? I see that article. Okay, oh, World Cup 2014. Maybe. Okay. So yeah, to explain for this problem, I mean to giving some statistic would be better for you to understand, right? So the Brazilian government is reported to be spending over 13 billions over the various stadiums, airport renovations, and other sites, while an additional 3.5 billion is being spent on venue sites. So Brazil Institute of Tourism project that the international visitor to the World Cup will spend 2.6 billion, while Brazilian resident will spend almost 8 billion. So these estimates will fall short of what Brazil government is spending. And yeah, The Global Post reports that upward of 15,000 families have been removed from Rio de Janeiro as well, in order to make place for the stadium and all the stuff related to the World Cup. Okay. So there can sometimes be the World Cup effects on country, where there is a promise of large injections of capital to boost the country economy as a result of the game being hosted there. But in the end, it falls short. And yeah, in this case, South Africa is the prime example of the World Cup effect. So South Africa invested nearly 5 billion in various renovations and restorations of buildings and has only made 15% of it back as of 2010. Brazil can only wait and see this occur in a similar phase. You see? Okay, so the World Cup and other international sporting events are super testaments into international cooperations and the abilities of countries to set aside common goals to celebrate the universal language of sport. However, a worrying trend in recent years of developing countries pushing aside and marginalizing those who are already marginalized by poverty and inequality is emerging. The responsibility is to ensure that these people are not forgotten or pushed to the wayside for the sake of the country bottom line and international view coverage rates with those who attend these events as well as concerned and socially active citizens around the world. So yeah, a lot of things linked to the World Cup. But let's say just this is a very big problem, a big issue that is decided by the government and all this stuff. So I don't really want to give my personal opinion about this one, but just a really quick or really general view for you about this issue back in the World Cup in Brazil 2016. So yeah, last question for you: which country will win the World Cup 2022? So if you have any ideas or if you have any belief in your favorite teams or in the team you support, just type it in the comment section down below and let us know. Because let's say I cannot predict or cannot make any prediction about this one because I don't really watch it. But let's say let me watch the. Okay. So this year I believe I don't know. Okay. So probably this year I believe England. No, Portugal. Right. I believe Portugal to win the World Cup 2022. To back up for my opinion, I think that Portugal has a very strong team nowadays. Although I don't really watch football, I don't really watch soccer, but I'm just trying to make some predictions a bit serious. But yeah, if you're asking which country I am thinking that will win the World Cup 2022, I would say that would be Portugal. But if you have any other opinion, please comment in the comment section, let us know. All right. So yeah, this is a very quick introduction of the World Cup 2022. Hopefully you and your family will have a good time enjoying the World Cup matches. And yeah, spread the fun with your colleague, your family, and other people because this is a very big event for the football enthusiasts. All right. So yeah, thank you for watching the live stream today, but I don't think I can speak any longer. So all we have for today is 48. That's good. So thank you very much for tuning in the live stream. along the way, or if you've been watching through it, I really appreciate all your efforts. So stay tuned for the next live stream on Friday, all right? Thank you for watching and follow for more content. Stop.